Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back once again with another reaction in the Pacific series. This is episode 2 and it is called Bazalone, I think is how it's pronounced. We're going to keep going with these terribly pronounced title names by the way, so buckle up. Last episode we got a brief introduction to quite a few of the characters and then essentially that was them, straight into the sea and straight into the war. They landed at a place called Guadalcanal, which I checked a map this week because I had no idea where that was, and it's just north by northeast of Australia, where the sort of islands where this entire Pacific War take place, I'm assuming. So they are now on the island of Guadalcanal. It looked quite beautiful, but they were then attacked by the Japanese, and come morning the beach was just flooded with bodies of Japanese soldiers. So they instantly turned this beautiful island into a hellscape, and I'm assuming we're going to get more of the same this episode. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is episode 2 of the Pacific Bazalone. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it. I never thought I'd say this, but there are some beautiful close-up shots of sticks of charcoal there. Oh, Tim Van Patten was actually a supervising producer. Nice, that is a good person to get in your actual overall team. I know he directed the last episode, but to see him supervise, produce the entire show is a good look. Such a talented guy, Tim Van Patten. That map basically just did the exact same thing I did midweek. I have to instantly ask, where did they actually film this? I'm assuming they didn't go to the real place to film it, but wherever they did film it looks beautiful. Oh shit! No way, that completely took me by surprise. And it's another brutal neck shot. No way this guy's surviving. We saw these neck shots in Band of Brothers all the time. Yeah, he's just instantly dead. Why did they cease fire? I didn't see them kill anyone. That was such a quick, sudden death.
Make a hole! Make a hole!
So why would they cease fire in that moment without any confirmed kills and then instantly just travel back 50 yards and start digging a grave for the guy? That seems incredibly dangerous. With John being here, there's always a chance that guy could come back as a zombie. This could be a secret prequel to The Walking Dead. Let's see how the Japanese like zombie US troops.
Evans on me.
Yes, Sergeant.
As bad as it is to carry the machine guns, did you see that guy having to carry the tripod for it? Oh my god, that looks like a shitty job.
Quartermaster over in Dog Company claims they're edible. After you suck on them for about an hour or two.
No idea what they are, but they look difficult to bite into.
Oh, come on, Lecky. Read it. I'd do it for you.
These guys must be all missing girls back home. So even hearing one guy talking to the woman that he's interested in, it must interest them.
I'm gonna tell her the truth. We've been swallowed by the jungle and 5,000 Japs waiting to kill us.
I mean, you could spice it up a little bit. Nobody wants to read that. I'm definitely an advocate for the truth, but in this situation, if I was writing to my beloved back home, I'd definitely be like, yo, today I did a triple somersault out of a tree, killed 2 of them just with flying air kicks. The rest of the Japanese were so scared they shouted retreat in their native tongue, and all the other soldiers on my side high-fived me and I got to relax for the rest of the day. P.S. Was bitten by an animal over here. Seems to have doubled my penis size. I will write again soon.
So the Japs got us surrounded. Is that what's bugging you?
John, I shit like 20 times a day. My ass is killing me.
Everyone else is worried about bullets. This guy's gonna die of dysentery. Is that rice with maggots in it? Fucking gross.
The Americans on this island, recruited from jails and insane asylums for bloodlust.
That's a badass bit of propaganda. It would work equally as well on both sides.
The army just landed. Saying nothing much we can do about our dungarees. We're just raggedy-ass Marines.
Yeah, that's what I would think. If the army arrived and people were looking dishevelled, you wouldn't judge them for it. You would be like, damn, they have been through some shit. Well, that's nice of the army to not give a shit about the Marines already there.
The Army don't know the Japs bombed the airfield, not the beach. Stay low.
Were they Japanese planes or American planes? They do have the air raid siren going, so it makes me think they must be Japanese planes. In modern times, America have such superiority technology-wise, you wouldn't even imagine it to be an enemy plane. You know, I'm so conditioned to them being in nations where they just dominate with their superior technology. In the war in Iraq, you would never look up ahead and worry it was an Iraqi aeroplane.
Army gets the new stuff and we fight with shit my grandfather used.
If it shoots bullets, then it works. That's the way I would look at it. Oh, they were raiding the army's supplies. That's hilarious. Surely the army have enough to spare. Share and share alike and all that.
Not just any shoes, said they were his favorite pair of moccasins.
Well, they won't be his favourite pair now.
Well, you might want to watch where you wear those.
Was that suggesting that those guys had also been stealing?
These
Are for you miscreants.
Oh my god.
Man, that's one thing I never even thought about, but seeing these guys' diets and stuff, oh, that would be so rough. Imagine having to already commence brutal warfare to the death and then on top of that getting the shits.
Peaches. Your new name is Peaches.
Fuck you.
You got it, Peaches.
Don't nickname this guy. I'm the guy that nicknames people, and he's the only one I know the name of. You leave Lecky alone. Peaches Lecky.
Run it. Your new nickname is Old Faithful.
Fuck you, Peaches.
I like that one. We'll cut it down to Faithful. He's not old. He's got the shits. Shit's Faithful. Faith shit? We'll work on it. I was gonna say, it's always when they're just chilling that all hell breaks loose, but that's literally the only time all hell can break loose. Nice to see that guy's got his priorities in order. If anyone lets that dog die, I'm gonna go back in time and kill these soldiers myself. Shit. I hope this show is once again using as many practical effects as Band of Brothers. So far, these effects look incredible. Unless it's happening to you, then they look quite horrifying. Holy shit. I've got to say, the Japanese are using superior tactics thus far. They seem to be covertly scouting out their positions and then just in one big barrage fucking them up. Even though it didn't work for them last episode, in theory their sneak attack at night was still quite good strategy-wise. It just failed miserably for them. Hey, oh, that makes up for all the other dead bodies and ruined equipment. The dog is okay, and is probably now deaf. If you imagine a dog's amplified hearing and then bombs dropping, I don't imagine that it can still hear things today.
She puts in 5 more grams of explosives.
Man, that could have been us.
Oh, holy shit, that is so brutal. I think that's almost already more gore than we saw in the entire Band of Brothers show, just to see body parts and shit like that. We saw people were missing body parts, but never just a hole full of people with all their body parts all over the place.
Our battalion will join Hannikin's in our old position south.
Here's a thought I have. Did they ever go back to these islands and do a clean-up job once the war's finished? Was Guadalcanal ever cleaned up, or could we go there to this day with metal detectors and find some war shit?
If the Japs do break through, our orders are to take to the jungles and fight as guerrillas.
That's basically what these guys have been doing the first 2 episodes already. Or at least that's how it's appeared to me. Obviously, if you're fighting as guerrillas, you're fighting in even smaller units though.
Can you spare this hombre? I need another runner.
The hell, Colonel, we're sick of him.
I'm still in shock he's in this. I had no idea he'd ever been in anything significant pre-Walking Dead. What exactly are they building just now? At least they've got machine gunners ready for counterattacks. Now they know how sneaky the Japanese are being. And I do not use the term sneaky in a derogatory way, by the way. I absolutely love ninja tactics and stealth tactics, so I have nothing but respect for anybody using sneaky tactics in times of war. When you look at the oldest war footage, you know, when these guys weren't even allowed to break formation and just had to walk toward gunfire, it absolutely goes against everything my brain does instinctively. It's infuriating to watch.
Look at you. We'll make a Marine out of you yet.
Well, I thought those guys were cutting down all those leaves and shit to make some actual roofed shelter, but apparently not.
Pull out and hook up with Able Company.
1st Battalion, hold your fire as long as possible.
Oh dear. Damn! He wasn't long off the phone. These explosions are devastating looking. Oh shit, here we go. Well, can't fault the Japanese for their bravery, but not the smartest idea to just run headfirst into machine gun turrets. Damn, they're getting close as well. Guy's already having to break out the shotgun. And if it's the full army, like the guy on the phone said, they can only keep this up for a limited amount of time.
How much ammo you got?
Half a bell.
That's it?
Yeah.
This is our last box too, Sergeant.
Oh no, I was hoping that they'd decided to pull back there, thinking there were more Americans than there actually were, but no, they're just going to keep sending soldiers until they run out of bullets. Oh my god, again, these battle sequences are just filmed incredibly. One thing I've noticed is, these battles are taking place primarily at night, unlike Band of Brothers. I guess that's a testament to the Japanese having more covert tactics, but yeah, they still look incredible, and if anything, night battles are like more shocking, because all you see is tracer rounds whizzing about and explosions going off, it's crazy. Poor tripod guy. I'd just like to take a moment of silence for the tripod carriers of this war. Ah, shit. I like how they actually both paused for a second though. Like, they both had the same thought. They were like, is this one of my guys? Oh shit, it's not. Damn. This must have been so confusing, like dimly lit jungle everywhere, just crazy. That Colt 1911 is putting in work. You don't look fine, bro. You're doing the shaky straight finger thing. That generally means not fine. Guy got headshotted mid-fence jump. Look at the bodies just piling up. How are you expected, after a war is finished and you survive, to just go back to America or Japan, whichever side you're on, and just live a normal life after having seen and lived through this shit? Literally couldn't tell there if that was a pile of bodies or sandbags. That is how badly they are stacking up. Wow, surprised he made it back alive there. That was some ballsy stuff to be doing. And they're still bombing. Won't they be killing a lot of their own troops by doing that? Because all the Japanese were in the area where those bombs just hit. Fucking hell, so quick for him to react and realise they were both non-friendlies and there was more than one. Friendly fire's hard enough to avoid in daylight, let alone conditions like this, jungle at night time. I'd be opening fire on leaves, mistaking them for soldiers. It's an ambush! They're not soldiers, they're coconut trees. It's an ambush! Those mounted machine guns might look like a bitch to carry, but they definitely are saving these guys' asses right now. Oh, no way! They actually repelled the assault. That is impressive. I take it the Japanese did have more units, but they just decided to pull back after suffering a lot of casualties. This shit's just crazy. This is the second episode in a row where it's been a field of dead bodies. The concentration of dead bodies is shocking.
Is he okay? Yeah. He's okay.
He's sleeping.
Considering what they were up against, that was a fairly successful evening. I'm sure they suffered a lot of losses, but nowhere near as many as I was expecting, given how harrowing the radio call was.
Sir, anybody bring in Sergeant Rodriguez last night? Manny Rodriguez?
I wish I could keep track.
This field medic is dressed so differently to the one in Band of Brothers. He's literally in like full surgeon attire. I don't know why, but those burns looked nastier to me than the guy that had just had his cheek shot off.
Nice work. I'm putting you in for a medal, John.
Popeye was impressed. If I was to guess where this was filmed, I would assume somewhere like Thailand, but I'm probably way off. Perhaps parts of Australia? Oh no! The only actor I know is dead. Well, rest in peace. Now I don't know any of them. Now it's just a bunch of fucking randos. Huh, why would we be cutting back to this guy?
It's gone, isn't it?
It was actually never there. Your mother just loves you very much.
I don't need your permission, Father. I haven't for some time.
I'm still calling conspiracy on this. I don't think he ever had one.
I don't want to look in your eyes someday and see no spark, no love, no life.
Yeah, that must be the roughest thing for a parent, to see your relatively normal child go away to war and come back just never the same. Seen the worst brutalities you could imagine. They will never be the same. And as a parent, that is not what you want for your child. And if it is, you are insane.
Thank you, Father.
But at least his dad kind of gave him his blessing there. You would be so worried as a parent. I can only imagine the worry you would have as a parent. Jesus, that would drive me insane. I would be like, if you're signing up, I'm signing up, and they are not letting you out my sight. You're going to be in my unit at all times.
Get your gear and stand by to stand by. We're finally leaving this shithole.
It didn't feel like Christmas up until that news, but I bet you that's like a big Christmas present to everyone. Of course they're leaving one shithole and going to another, but let's not think about that.
Manny steps to the left instead of his right. He slows down.
Yeah, but he didn't.
Unfortunately, you would get no time to come to terms with the death of your friends. Like, everything happens so fast and you still have to be alert to more attacks. You have to get over that shit after the war's finished, not during it. Oh, they were getting on board the ship, okay.
Coffee. Shit, I can get you guys some coffee. Milk and sugar?
That would cheer me up as well. Here's the coffee.
I heard it was bad.
I mean, if they're all getting erections over the fact you have coffee, you do the math as to how bad it was.
You guys are on the front page of every newspaper in America.
That would lift my spirits a bit. I'd be like, nice, at least people are acknowledging the fucking bullshit we're going through over here. I'm not saying it makes up for it or makes it all worthwhile or nothing like that, but you gotta take your small victories in such horrific times. Okay, and that was episode 2 of the Pacific Baz Alone, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, Baz Alone, what did I think of that? Man, what a crazy episode as far as action goes. I really can't remember anything before or after that attack, because it seemed to occupy the majority of the episode and it was just filled with absolute craziness. First we got the incoming bombs, then the night rush attack toward their line of machine guns, and they just kept sending more and more units. Then more bombs came, then they had to sort of disperse through the jungle, which was even more confusing because obviously there was Japanese soldiers hiding amongst those trees, and then it got to a point of, is it a friendly? Is it an enemy? Oh man, I cannot imagine having to fight in those conditions, especially at night time. It would have just been so confusing and disorientating to almost the point of madness. I mean, thankfully, most of the characters that we are following got out of it unscathed, but RIP to John from The Walking Dead. I was expecting him to be a prominent character throughout this show, and no, he is dead episode 2. So now, the entire cast are basically people I do not know the names of. I do know the face of their commanding officer. He's been in so many great things, but I do not know the actor's name. As I said, episode 1, he's just one of those great character actors, but you never remember the name of him because he's always in side roles here and there. I guess before all the shit kicked off, we did get a bit of humour with the army arriving and them sort of raiding the army's supply boxes, taking the moccasins and the cigars. That was like the one happy moment from this episode, and I suppose at the end as well, when they finally got back onto a ship would feel like you were literally in a 7-foot thick lead-walled room at that point, given the safety that metal walls provide, in comparison to just being exposed in an open jungle, bombs falling, enemies running at you. You would definitely feel the safest you had felt in a while being back on board the ship. And hey, they got cups of coffee on top of that and got told their heroes back home. What more can you really ask for under such horrible circumstances? And you have to give credit to the special effects teams, the pyrotechnic teams, all the explosions, the gunfire, everything just looked so chaotic and epic this episode from start to finish. Wouldn't surprise me if this episode was one of the bigger budgeted ones. Either that or we're going to see an equal amount of madness throughout this whole show, but man, they must have sunk a lot of budget into that scene because it was just absolute insanity. And again, in the morning, we just got to see a sea of bodies in the aftermath of what had transpired the night before. You know what's interesting as well? Whenever I hear about legendary television shows, Band of Brothers is always on lists, but the Pacific is not, as if it's in some way an inferior show. To me, it looks like it has an identical level of budget, an identical level of quality, an identical level of scripts. What is the thing that differentiates the two? Is it just that Band of Brothers had such a star-studded cast, both with current and up-and-coming actors, in comparison to this show? I do not get why this isn't as highly rated as Band of Brothers. Maybe someone in the comments can fill me in on that, but gauging it with my eye, it looks of an absolute identical quality to Band of Brothers, so that's confusing me a little bit right now. Maybe it drops off or does something different in the next episodes coming up, but all I'll say is, up to this point, it's basically like I'm watching a continuation of the same show. Absolutely no dip in quality in any department thus far. And now these poor guys are back on ships drinking coffee. Who knows where the ships will be taking these poor guys next week. If you've liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below and share this around to anyone you think might appreciate it or want to watch these reactions along with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.